Hello, I'm Mateo Baton Rodriguez, and this is my IB4 poetry presentation. The original poem, Daybreak in Alabama, is about a person who tells where he's going to write a song about when he's a musician. The thing he narrates about is a daybreak in Alabama where black and white people live, rest in harmony together, showing that maybe someday even a daybreak in Alabama will be happy and equal. The poem I made is not about daybreak in Alabama, but about the world itself. So I took the main concept or idea from Daybreak in Alabama and created a poem with that same idea on a much bigger scale. The structure of Daybreak in Alabama and my poem are not the same, but both end with the same verse sentences. So now I'm gonna read out loud my own poem. It's called The Day. One day I'll become a musician and write songs about the scent in the air, about the birds in the sky, about the green of fields, about the sunshine that never leaves, about rain that never comes, about a world of freedom, about a world of equality, where all the cultures sing together, where right and left shake hands, where thieves give, where the wind blows a calm breeze, where love rules, where cold is replaced by warmth, where heaven is on earth itself. Although some people are still bold, although some days are still cold, although some don't sing but scream, although some people don't dare to dream, although some people fear the night, although some people don't love but fight, although some winters are cold as ice, although some summer heat waves cause demise, there will be a day that bad things will become myths in the hands of happiness. But that day is not today. Today is another day, a day to dream about the day I become a musician and write songs. Now I'm gonna give you my commentary about my poem. My poem has the same idea behind it like Daybreak in Alabama. So in my poem, the narrative doesn't like about Alabama daybreak in harmony, but about the whole world in harmony. I chose to do this because the so-called daybreak in Alabama was something that happened many years ago in an environment and culture I haven't experienced myself. So instead, I used the world itself, where we more or less encounter the things I described and how we wish that those things would change in a good way. These things have to do with freedom and equality that still today fail to be as we want them to be. The poem is divided in an introduction, three main paragraphs, and a conclusion that more or less ends the same like in Daybreak in Alabama, so with the same words. The introduction is the same as in Daybreak in Alabama, only it isn't written in dialect. Where when the narrator says he's going to write songs, the first paragraph starts. In this paragraph, the narrator describes where he's going to write his songs about. The things he describes are the feelings of a world of freedom and equality. The paragraph ends with the narrator literally saying that it's about a world of freedom and equality. The structure in this paragraph is that every line begins with the word about. In the second paragraph, the narrator doesn't talk about the thing he's going to write songs about, but instead he describes the world of freedom and equality of the first paragraph. He describes it with the things that contradict each other in real life. For example, where left and right shake hands. These contradictions are positive, and by painting them together, it shows that maybe even one day these two things will relate in a positive way. The structure is similar to the structure of the first paragraph, so the lines start with the same word, in this case with the word where. The third paragraph, the narrator talks about the bad things that still happen nowadays, but he starts every line with although, announcing a positive side. The bad things described are issues of freedom and equality. The structure of this paragraph is the same as the first two paragraphs. The only difference is that the first and second, third and fourth, fifth and sixth, and seventh and eighth line rhyme with each other. The final and concluding paragraph gives the first sentence the positive side of the bad things in the third paragraph. Then the narrator ends the poem by suggesting that a day that this world will be in harmony is not this day. This really gives the poem a dreamy feeling like in Daybreak in Alabama, because you see that these are just the thoughts of a person that wishes an equal and free world. Then the narrator says that his dream is to become a musician, and so ending the poem with the same sentence it started with. creating a sort of loop effect. Now my conclusion. In both poems, the narrator picture equality, freedom, and happiness. Both poems show someone that wants to be a musician and write songs. The difference is that one of the narrators applies this to Daybreak in Alabama, and the other one, applies this to the whole world. Both poems give you the dreamy feeling of someone wishing for something. In this case, freedom and equality. Thank you for listening. This was my presentation.